Argentina. I'm a co-editor of a magazine there called Ramona, which is this one here. You can take a look to the magazine over the desk behind me, in the hall behind me. I want to talk a little bit about our last issue, which is a very special one because it marks a turning point in the history of the magazine. The first issue was released in the year 2000, and somehow, in a way I cannot explain, and nobody can, it overcame the big crisis we had in Argentina. Maybe you heard about that in the year 2001, which was a very deep crisis. The magazine had, until now, the politics that anyone can write on it. So you can find in the pages of the publication well-known signatures as, for instance, the one of a world-known esthetician, Arthur C. Danto, and the fresher student of art that wants to write his or her impressions on an exhibition. Now we are trying to develop a more aesthetical-orientated trend because we are thinking that the contemporary art needs more and more philosophy. Otherwise, you are not able to understand much of it. Why is it so? Well, and now I come to my point. The main problem is that our concept of art is very close related with the concept of beauty. And the problem is that beauty is not anymore what it used to be. What I mean is that the concept of beauty, the idea of beauty, is in a deep crisis nowadays. If you don't take this into account, it could be even difficult to understand the development of the different Documenta editions, and even this one. If you walk through the exhibition, you will find many works of art that do not aim to beauty in the traditional sense. So the point is that art is nowadays in a legitimation crisis. And that is why we wanted to organize an issue devoted to the point, whatever happened to beauty, what happened to beauty in nowadays world. And we discovered that our situation was not that far away from the problems that the ancient artists had in their times. So we started with a critical valoration of what Plato said. You know that we don't have many works of art coming from Plato era, from Plato times, but we do have many critical approaches to art from that time. So the contrast is very remarkable, and we wanted to think about it. That is why we asked some people from the university to explain us what happened to beauty in the ancient world. And what we discovered was that the heritage of the ancient world was to us more critical towards art than we could ever thought. That was the first thing. The second thing is that the ancient world was more interested in art as true than it was in art as beauty. So the second question we posed in this dossier, I have some issues here you can take if you want. They are written in Spanish, unfortunately, but well, it's not that difficult. Das kommt mir nicht Spanisch vor. Und point is, can we relate art with truth again? isn't it possible? And what we found it was that in reality, the only trend in nowadays culture that tries to make a strong link between art and truth is the Catholic Church. In fact, we found it that when Joseph Ratzinger is not speaking about sex, he writes very interesting contributions on philosophical problems. For instance, about beauty. Our last issue has a contribution by Joseph Ratzinger on beauty. And we found it that he speaks a lot about the link between beauty and metaphysics. And the fact is that in nowadays world, nobody makes such a strong statement between art and metaphysics as Joseph Ratzinger. So this is basically the main issues we deal with in the last Ramona, number 71. We published approximately 10 issues a year, which is a considerable effort down there in Argentina. But we are very happy, and we are especially happy to have had the opportunity to address you and to explain you what is our last issue about. Thank you very much. And now wait a minute. Also, Schönheit, beauty, sublime, das Erhabe, das Erhabe, das Erhabe, sublime, metaphysics, oder Kunst, Metaphysics, oder Kunst, Metaphysics, und Kunst. Schönheit. Schönheit. Beauty. Beauty. La beauté, das Erhabe, sublime, das Erhabe, beauty, Schönheit, Microphysics oder Kunst, Microphysics und Kunst. Schönheit, beauty, Schönheit, das Erhabe, das Erhabe, das Erhabe, Microphysics oder Kunst. Physics oder Kunst. Microphysics, oder das Erhabe, sublime, Microphysics oder Kunst, Microphysics und Kunst. Schönheit, beauty. Thank you very much. If you happen to have any questions, please go ahead. If not, you have Ramona's speech. Thank you.
It's okay, no?
Oof.